Good evening, everyone.
Good evening to you.
So my name is Sara. I did my Nclex in third, and I thank God it was a class. So actually, my journey started in 2023 June, and by that time I did not take my studies seriously. So I was just busy with the issues of verification and all that. Then I started becoming serious in February 2024. So actually, I did my Nclex for the second time. It was not the first time. The first time I did my Nclex, I failed, and I did not give up. So when it reached February 2024, I became serious with my studies. Around 3 to 4 months, I realized that there was a problem with my verification. That is when I got a communication from my CS guide, who told me that there was an issue with the date of birth and all that. So I had to do verification again. So you can imagine, after waiting all that time, I was really preparing. I was just getting ready to set my date for exam. That really discouraged me, but I did not give up. I just did the verification again, and I waited for another 2 months. Then from there, that's when now I moved forward. I scheduled a call, and I was scheduled for exam. So I did my NCLEX the first time in October 2024. So it was a fail. And you can just imagine, it was not easy for me. Then I just picked up myself. I prayed to God to give me strength, and I started again. So for me to be enrolled back, because I'm with MedPro, so for me to be enrolled back to the program, I also had to do some tests, which you had to pass with almost 75%. And it was only 3 attempts. If you fail, you are not being enrolled back. So I really prayed to God to give me whatever I needed that time to proceed with the process. And actually, everything went on well, and I was readmitted again. I started my preparation again for exam. That was in December 2024. Then come March this year, I was now scheduled for another retake. So it was not easy. I was really anxious about it, because you can just imagine whatever I went through that time. So I had to prepare more and even look at the areas where I was weak, strengthen everything, content, setting strategies. And that's why a friend of mine told me about Nahashon. So I contacted him, and I joined the group, the Telegram group. That was early May. So it was just a month to my exam, because I was scheduled on 3rd of June. So when I joined the group, I realized again that I really didn't have that content. I had been studying, but I didn't have the content that I was not sure of my content. So when I joined the Nahashon team, I realized that there were some audios that he posted in the Gold Bank group. So I started going through the audios one by one. I could do that daily, because I felt like I really need this content. And I felt like Nahashon was really bringing it in a simpler way. So I started going through the audios one by one, each topic, and that really helped me, together with the Cuban. After that 1 month, I was now a bit sure of myself, and I felt like now I can face this exam. So come that day, I just went for the examination, and I thank God it came out well. So that has been my journey.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sarah. And guys, let's congratulate Sarah for passing the NCLEX, man. It's not easy. This thing, we've heard that this was her second chance. So you can see she had a setback some time back, but that one did not discourage. She went back, re-strategized, and came back even stronger. Now she beat it for her second time, which is really, really amazing for her. So Sarah, please tell us maybe on the exam exactly, at what question did your computer go off? At which question? Maybe how many hours did you finish that exam?
Now, my case was even difficult. In fact, I was so anxious. My computer did not shut. I ran out of time. I went up to number 138, and 5 hours was gone. That is what happened to me. I had almost 9 case studies.
What? Okay.
I had 3 bow ties. And I had 2 hotspots. And imagine, every question I did, the next one would even be harder. So that even motivated me, because I had Nahashon say, if you get more difficult questions, you are on the right track. So by the time I was finishing, things were not easy. I was sweating everywhere. I was anxious. In fact, I knew I had failed. That is what I went through.
Okay, I find it funny that you are sweating. I'm trying to imagine.
I was sweating. You just imagine, because once given, and I was
Yes.
asking myself, why are they giving me 90 studies? Does it mean that I'm not getting anything, or what is happening? So I was really anxious. By the time I reached number 120, I was sweating everywhere. I could even just wipe my hands because they were wet all over. And I just decided to take deep breaths so that I could
Yes.
relax. Yeah, that is what I did.
Yeah, and guys, this is real. You can imagine going to that exam with your mind set at question number 85, and then boom, you are at question 130. You see, you can actually sweat, you can actually panic, and that can really it can really affect your score. So you need to compose yourself. Don't go to the exam with a fixated mind that you will do the exam in 85 questions, less than 2 hours, and you're out. No, we are not the same. That's what I'm trying to say. So kila mtu akona their own strengths. Just know your strength, and above all, be ready to do the 150 questions. Okay, so the earliest you can come out of that exam is after 85 questions. Just for those who are joining us for the first time and maybe they are not familiar with the Nclex, the earliest you can shut off is at 85. The highest you can go is up to 150 questions. Okay, so you will have case studies, you will have SATA questions, you will have the hotspots, you will have the bow ties. All these questions are there for you, and the harder they get, the better. Okay, it's a computer adaptive test. So the computer is gauging your performance as you continue answering. It's giving you more and more questions. So the harder you get, the better. It's just trying to confirm that this is the right person that you want to give the license to. So if you see yourself getting easy questions, you should be worried and be very, very worried. Okay, but I know with the thorough preparations that we have, you will pass this exam. So Sarah, I have a few questions for you before we let others ask you the questions. Now, my concern is on the challenges. I like to hear the challenges because this is where real motivation comes. So during your preparation, did you encounter any kind of challenge?
I had a lot of challenges. Some were just personal issues because I have to go to work that is there. I had to study also for the exam, and I also have kids to take care of. So things were not easy for me. I could wake up at 3 and study up to 5, because from 5 I prepare my kids who are going to school by 6. So I could wake up early so that at least I get some 2 hours to study before I start the other things. Then at night also, after finishing our classes, I could take another 1 hour to take around 50 questions daily from Leaping Court, because you know I was with MedPro and I had to be active doing 50 to 100 questions daily. So I had a lot of challenges. It was really tiresome. At the end of the day, I was really tired, but I kept on encouraging myself that, Sara, you have to do this. So that really motivated me, because I was saying to myself, I can't afford to fail the second time. So even at times I could be very tired, but at 3, I could set my alarm and just wake up and do maybe an audio, I might just do my personal studies, because that is the time I was doing the content, taking topic by topic so that I could have the content. So that is the real challenge that I really had, balancing. It was not easy for me.
Okay, so we've heard that you were able to manage that, and I know challenges are there, and all of us face the same challenges. They are not far from what she's talking about. I know if everyone is given an opportunity, they can actually speak the same. So, Sarah, I want you to take us through the day of examination. What did you do on that day?
Actually, on a day before examination, that day I did not study much. I just I just went through one topic which I was really doubting, that is the EKG. That is all I went through for just an hour. Then I slept at around 10. Then I woke up at 5. At 5, when I woke up, I just prepared myself, and then I went for breakfast. Then I just went to where I was staying, just to look at something just for an hour, because I was to start my exam at around 10 a.m. So I just wanted to reach the exam center at around 8:30 or 8:45. And I didn't know what would come out, though I was a bit courageous, because I knew this time round I have what it takes to go through this exam and pass. But that anxiety was there. So when I reached the exam center at around 8:45, I just went in and they asked me whether I was ready for the exam, and I said yes, I'm ready. So everything was done. They took the necessary that they do. Then I just went in. I was shown my computer. Then I just sat down and started my exam. Before I start, I was shaking. I was very anxious. Then I just prayed. I whispered a prayer. Then I took deep breaths just to calm myself. Then I started the exam. So when I started the exam, it was just lighter questions. And as I was moving, things started becoming tough. And I thank God it came out successfully.
Okay. So, Sara, what did you do differently this time around compared to the first time? Because I'm seeing a few concerns here from the chat. People asking, like, what was the game changer this time around compared to the first time?
Okay, actually, I can say this time round, I majored on the content. Personally, if I'm told to evaluate myself, during the first time I did my exam and the second time, the first time I was I did not have the content, the enough content. I read, but I didn't know the small issues into the content that could help me to pass the exam. So that's why I'm telling you, this time round, I decided to join the Nahashon classes. And that's where I'm saying I got to understand the content even more, because they are simplified in a good way and easy to retain. So that is the only thing that really helped me. The audios that you posted on the Gold Bank wall, I could go through them one by one, and I was the content was thinking deeper as compared to the other time. I was only attending the online lectures from the MedPro and going through the modules, and so that really helped me, improved on my content. And I think with the content and the taking strategies, that is how I came out now to be successful.
Okay. So, yes, guys, that is actually true. You need the content. That one goes without any saying, and we are able to support you if you need that. So I can see, Maria, do you have a question for Sara before she gives us her final thoughts and parting shot? You can ask your question now, Maria.
Yes, my question is, I was asking, so what happened after the 5 hours were over? You said that your 5 hours were over at 100, I think, and 34 questions. So it just shut, or it gives you a warning that your time is almost, or what happens exactly?
At that time, I was at number 138, and the time was up. The 5 hours was gone. So they just showed me on the screen that time is up. The time has ended, and that's how it ended. Then I just went to the survey.
Yes. So, Sara, do you mean that the time actually went off before you were done with the questions?
Yes.
Okay, Maria.
The question was, at what question did your last exam start at your last? Did you do the entire exam all? there was an exact number that it shut.
Okay, my computer did not start. Actually, it is time that I ran out of time. The 5 hours elapsed when I was at 138. And it just appeared on my screen that time is up.
No, I'm asking about the previous one, October last year.
Okay, the other one, my computer shut at exactly 85. And I did it only 2 hours. For only 2 hours. And it shut at 85.
Okay, so yes, so thank you, Sarah, for that response. So actually, guys, you can shut off at 85 and still fail. It is actually true that your computer can still shut at 85 and still give you a fail. So you need to be very strategic with your preparation and also with how you answer these questions. I usually tell my students that the first 10 questions in that exam will determine the outcome of your exam somehow, because you are building a graph. Okay, the computer adaptive test operates in such a manner that it is sort of a graph. So the first question you get it right, it puts you somewhere up or close to the passing point. The more you get wrong answers, you're going down the level of passing. So you can imagine by the time you're reaching question number 85 and you're still low, you are not anywhere near the passing rate or the passing level, your computer will just shut off because it will be convinced that maybe there are some areas that you are lacking in. So it will just shut off and that will be your fate. So you rather take your time, question by question. Don't rush. You have 5 hours to do the exam. Okay, so don't rush at any point. Don't be anxious. Just relax. Okay, you've gone through the classes, you've gone through the Q banks, and now you're ready. When it comes to the day of exam, just walk in there, eat well in the morning, sleep well, take a lot of water, listen to some music. Don't bother yourself with the Nclex things on the exam day. You might just end up confusing yourself. So I usually tell my people to be calm. On the exam day, it's like your day of relaxing. Give your mind some time to remember things when you get into the exam. Just eat well, take a cold shower, and go to the exam room very fresh. The first question, take your time. The next 10 questions, take your time. And then by the time you are reaching question number 85, you'll be able to gauge and see how you performed. The harder the questions, the better for you. Okay, so you have a few questions on the charts. Sarah, I hope you're still in.
Yes.
So people are interested to know the kind of questions you encountered, probably the content or the topics.
Okay. I think I can remember some of them. I wrote them down. On the case studies. Okay, when Joan was giving her testimony, she talked about a question which I also encountered. The question she was talking about the neonate who developed jaundice. I also had the same question the way she was describing it. And again, I had a question on stroke. That was a case study. I also had depression. I was tested on depression. There was alcohol withdrawal syndrome. I also got a case study on DKA. I had another case study on myocardial infarction. And in fact, in that case study, I was also given a strip, an ECG strip, about the same question. It was not an easy one. I also had another one on ORIF, eclampsia, and then lastly was Hodgkin's lymphoma. Those were the case studies I encountered. Then I also had several factors. In drugs, I had a question also on schizophrenia, cholecystitis, and I was also tested on diabetes type 1 and type 2, and even diabetes insipidus, all of them. Then on drugs, I encountered a question on digoxin. They were asking, like, when a client is on digoxin and spironolactone, what do you monitor? And it was a SATA question. In then I also had hydrochlorothiazide. There was a question on hydrochlorothiazide. Then there was also a question on fluconazole and vancomycin. And I think those are the ones I can remember. There was also a question on heart failure, left-sided heart failure, signs and symptoms. So those are the ones I can remember from me. Then there were also 2 hotspots whereby you are told to identify something. These are the ones I can remember for now.
Thank you, Sarah, for sharing those topics. Of course, you can do a write-up and then you can share so that you can leave these people with something they can refer. And as we come towards the end, Sarah, like it is a norm of our group, we usually ask our successful candidates to give advice to those other students who are aspiring to do the exam. What is that one advice that you can leave to whoever will be listening to this audio later, Sarah?
Okay, one thing I'd say about Nclex is that let us have the content. Content is the foundation of everything. Then test-taking strategies are like pillars. So the two has to go together. Okay, when you were listening to me, when I was giving my testimony, I said that I failed the first time because I feel I did not have enough content. So what I can urge my colleagues is that let's get the content right. Let's have our taking strategies at our fingertips, and Nclex is doable. It's a hard exam, but it's doable. That's what I can tell my colleagues.
Yes, Sarah, thank you so much. Yeah, this exam is actually doable, guys. Let no one lie to you that it is not, it's just a tricky exam. And it's also those kind of tests that you need a strategy. You just don't just walk in and expect miracles. No, there are no miracles on the Nclex. And there is no leakage. I'll tell you that for free. So you need to go through a thorough preparation. You need to have a structured way of studying. Before you drop off, Sarah, you have a question from Maximila. She's asking you, for how long did you study for you to pass the exam for the second time?
Okay, actually for the second time, I did my Nclex in October. Then I was enrolled back in around mid-November. Then I started now serious studying for the examination in December. So it's around 5 months. Then I did the exam.
So 5 months, to be precise.
5 months, yes.
And in those 5 months, you were able to join the classes and you were able to do the Q banks together.
Okay, for the Q banks and classes, I joined only 1 month to exam.
Still okay, and
Yes.
you were able to benefit a lot from those groups.
It really helped me because when I joined here, I realized that I didn't have the facts. So that's why I was saying I had to go through the audios that you posted. And that is where now I was clearing up everything, and everything was thinking even deeper. And that really helped me a lot.
Okay, that is fantastic. So guys, that is it from our USRN, Sarah. And Sarah, congratulations by the way. We are very proud. We are very happy that at least this time around you are smiling with your certificate and also your license. You are officially a USRN, and that is it. You will never do this exam again. And everything is possible. We are here to support you. And I know you are not alone. We have people who have failed before and they passed on their second attempt. Others have even gone to as far as third and fourth attempts and they still pass. But you don't have to go through all that. You have the opportunity now to pass it with your one, and that is the one touch without having to repeat it again. So thanks again for listening, and I know you benefited from this session.